Hi guys, this is Dr. Pangelinen, and in this lecture I'm going to talk about the second skill module of the Special Olympics Young Athletes program, Walking and Running Skills. At the end of this lecture, students will understand the activities in the Walking and Running Skills module. You'll learn how to observe children's movements while they're performing the different activities in this module. And for the students in groups 1 through 4, you will develop activities to build upon the skills trained in this module. The goals for this module include helping children become proficient at walking and running. These skills enable children to explore their environment. These skills also enable children to participate in recreational activities and sports and other learning experiences. The picture on the right shows all of the activities in this module. I will go through each of these activities in terms of the goals and modifications. Then we will watch videos of children doing each activity. The first activity in this module is called Follow the Leader. For this activity, the goal is to listen and watch the leader carefully to move their body in different ways. The coach or parent can set up a path using hoops, cones, and floor markers that the children should follow. The activity guide includes suggestions for group play. For example, the children can take turn as the leader. Now let's watch the video of a child participating in this activity. In this video, the coach has set up an obstacle course. The child follows the coach as he performs each of the different skills. The second activity is called Walk Tall. For this activity, the children will walk, jog, or run from one floor marker to another with a beanbag on their heads. The children should stand tall and do the activity without the beanbag falling off. The goal is to develop good posture, balance, and control during these skills. Let's watch the video of this activity. Here the coach has set up 2 cones, and the child must walk with the beanbag on his head between the 2 cones without letting it fall off. The child uses his arms to maintain balance. The third activity in this module is called sidestepping. For this activity, the children face forward and step to the right or left onto floor markers. Beanbags can be placed on some of the markers, and the children can pick up the beanbag as they move from one marker to the next. Let's watch the video of this activity. In the video, the coach has set up a balance beam on the floor between 2 cones instead of using floor markers. This child doesn't seem to have any difficulty with doing the activity, but occasionally looks down at his feet to make sure he's on the balance beam. The fourth activity is called Run and Carry. For this activity, the children run a distance, pick up an object from the ground or a cone, and run back to the starting point. The activity is repeated several times to build endurance. When 2 or more children are participating, they can pass the object to each other. With a large number of children, teams and races can be organized. The activity guide provides modifications for group play and healthy play. The recommendation for group play is to have an adult stand in the middle of the space, and the children must try to get around the adult as they run from one side to another. The adult can only move along a straight line. If the adult tags the child must freeze and stay frozen until another child tags them on their turn. For healthy play, the children can use plastic or real food objects instead of beanbags. The children can categorize the objects into healthy and unhealthy foods by dropping the food object into the corresponding basket. Let's watch the video of a child participating in this activity. The coach has placed a beanbag on a cone instead of the floor. The child runs, picks up the beanbag, and then places it on the cone near the starting line. The fifth activity is called Hidden Treasure. For this activity, the coach or parent hides a few beanbags under cones or cups placed around the space. The children will run forward, backwards, and sideways to a cone or cup and check if the beanbag is underneath. If a beanbag is found, the child puts the beanbag in a place called the treasure chest. The children take turns trying to find treasure. Let's watch the video of this activity. Here the coach hid a beanbag under one of the cones. The child tracks each of the cones for the beanbag. Ideally, this game should be set up so the child doesn't know exactly where the beanbags are hidden and runs to each of the cones and back to the starting line to increase endurance. The sixth activity is called sticky arms. For this activity, a zigzag course is created with cones, floor markers, tape, or rope. The children are timed as they run through the course 2 times. The first time, the children have to run through the course with their arms glued to their sides. The second time, the children will run through the course with their elbows bent and arms swinging. The coach and the parent will then talk about which way was easier and faster. The goal of this game is to help children learn to swing their arms to run fast. Let's watch the video of this activity. In this video, the coach uses airplane arms rather than the recommended arm swing form. The 7th activity in this module is called Heavy Feet, Light Feet. The children will run from one end of the room with heavy feet and making lots of stomping noises. The children will run back to the starting line with light feet, running on their toes and being as quiet as possible. The goal of this activity is to teach the children to run with light feet. There is no video of this activity. The activity guide provides recommendations for coaches to encourage children to look in the direction they are running or walking and to keep their hips and feet facing forwards. The 8th activity is called Obstacle Course. This is basically the same activity as the Obstacle Course activity in the Foundational Skills module. The coach or parent will set up cones, floor markers, hoops, dowels, or any other equipment available to create obstacles for the children to walk, crawl, jump, climb, and run through. The children can also practice concepts like running slow versus fast and forwards versus backwards. More advanced concepts like running zigzags or reversals can also be incorporated. We won't watch the video for the obstacle course because it's basically the same as what was presented in the Foundational Skills module, but with a different child going through the same obstacle course. The 9th activity is called Fire Drill. For this activity, all of the children stand in a line. The children would pass a ball or beanbag from one end of the line to the other while one child runs around the line. The child must get back to the start before the ball or beanbag reaches the end of the line. If the child is not successful, the child can try again, but the coach can make the passing more difficult by passing behind the back or between the legs. This will give the child more time to make it back to the starting line. Let's watch a video of this activity. The first child passes the ball, then runs around the line back to the starting position. The ball is passed back and then forward. The coach reminds the child to run back to the starting position. The last activity, which is listed as optional in the activity guide, is called Future Skaters. For this activity, the children will move their feet around the room without lifting their feet. Skates can be made from paper plates, cardboard cartons, or shoeboxes to help them slide around the room. Skating can be added to any of the other games. The activity guide provides a tip for observations. The correct form for the arm swing is in opposition to the leg movement. The right arm comes forward when the left knee or leg comes forward. The arm shouldn't swing across the body, but should swing by the sides of the body. The elbow should be bent during the arm swing. Let's watch a video of this activity. This child does not look very comfortable with the movements. He walks very stiffly, watches his feet, takes very small skating steps, and does not use his arms for balance or to generate momentum. As this child becomes more comfortable, the coach or parent should encourage him to bend his trunk forward, bend his knees, take bigger skating steps, and use his arms for balance and to generate momentum. Okay, in preparation for the quiz, you should all know the goals and modifications for each activity. For those of you in groups 1 through 4, you can meet with your group to pick one of the activities in this module that you would like to modify for your group project. You can change the equipment, instructions, or rules, but the general goal of the activity should be the same as the original activity. Your task card will need to incorporate simple images and simple text to describe your new activity. Please make sure to follow the examples provided on Canvas based on the activities in the Foundational Skills module. These examples will help you to understand the expectations, goals, and grading for the group project. You can email me if your group would like to meet to discuss your activity in advance.